Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. We've got a cattle drive coming along here this morning, and they're going into the next farm, and we're supposed to be getting more rain tomorrow. Seems like that's all we can get here lately is rain. Probably shouldn't be complaining though. We'll get in a drought this summer, and we'll be screaming for some of this moisture. But you can see that gate there's getting chunked up pretty good, and what we'll do on that is I'm going to bring a couple square bales up here, and I'm going to scatter some hay over that and let that reseed itself, basically. You don't want to leave a bare spot like that. Cows chewed it up. We're going to put some hay in that, and when they come back out of it, they'll stomp a lot of that hay down in there, and we'll get some grass plants growing in there. One of the things I wanted to show you, this is of course our ribbon going across, but we were getting ready to move this morning. We had this ribbon across and was actually headed up the driveway to where the cows were. And I saw something here, and I'm like, uh-oh, got to do something about that. And that is my neighbor. See, my neighbor's got a crop field here. Of course, he doesn't mind. We close those big blue gates up there because that's his driveway. But you notice right here in front, he mows this, okay? There's a strip on this side of his driveway he mows. You can see the darker green. And then on the other side of that driveway is also a mowed strip. Folks, if we hadn't put that wire up and you run whatever it is, both the bulls out of here, there's like 232 head in here. Think what they would have done to that. My neighbor is a really good neighbor, okay? I treasure his friendship, and he's the kind of guy his wife brings by a pie at Christmas. Yesterday, Jan and I were out here in the rain. It was miserable. We were unrolling hay, and he saw us. And he stopped. I just heard him stop up on the road. We were down over the hill unrolling bales, and I came back to my truck, and there was a package of elk sausage and deer sticks. No note or nothing. He just left them in my seat. Folks, those are neighbors. Okay, those are the kind of neighbors you treasure. And so, don't take cattle through a neighbor's yard, especially a good neighbor. That's the way to make a bad neighbor real quick. Or not a bad neighbor, but an angry neighbor. He's not bad. It's your fault. You didn't fence it off. Okay, I'd be the same way. If I mowed that and somebody brought a bunch of cattle through there and chewed it all up, that would not be good. We've got a new work crew here coming at us. That's Ben on the right. He's from the East Coast. And then Kendall is actually a guy that, yeah, Kendall's my bale manufacturer. He's the one that makes all the bale unrollers. He's up helping today. So we've got a new crew in here, and we're just hoping we get some sunlight. If we can get some sunlight in here, it's going to really make this grass grow, because we're at... let's see, this is March 24th, and we're about 10 days away from this grass just exploding. And boys and I were talking this morning, if we can just get, I don't know, let's say 4 days of sun, where it gets up in the 70s, we're going to be there. So, guys, you can go ahead and take that down. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, normally you untie that when you follow them up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go ahead and untie that and get the other one undone. Yeah. So we got Kendall just saying there's a car coming, and they didn't untie the ribbon at the other end. He'll figure it out. Yeah, they got it figured out. This is some pretty good stockpile, and you can see the green that's coming up in it already. And we got the dry matter, so the cows can't take just a bite of green. Folks, this is Kentucky 31 again. It's got some clovers in it. You can see the clovers, they're already starting to come up in there. This is the farm that I leased back in 2001, and the lady got in financial difficulty, and I think we had at least 3 years, and she says, Greg, I hate to tell you this, but I've got to have my money, and I've got to put it up for sale. Well, Jan and I were in a position that we could buy it at that point, and so we bought this farm, and boy, it's been a good one. It's 45 acres. It's just pretty much all grass. We've got 2 ponds on it. There's one right there in front of us. It's got a tire tank over there. And there's another pond on the other end of the farm. And it's just a nice little farm. And it's, 3/8 of a mile from the other farms that we own down the road here. So it makes it really nice. Just a short little cattle drive right there through the gate, and we're on to the next farm. But I'm telling you what, folks, this is beautiful. To see animals walking around on fescue that has a sod underneath it big enough to hold these animals up. So, again, I just can't overemphasize the economic value of having a sod in early spring, late winter, when it's raining. What are you going to do? You going to put them up in a feedlot? Or a muck area and just mud them to death? Or are you going to do this? Well, if you got fescue, you can do this. You can't do it with brome. You can't do it with orchard grass. You can't do it with timothy, bluegrass, none of them. They don't have the sod underneath them. It's got to be fescue. And some of these other newer endophyte, there's one called a novel endophyte, which has the friendly endophyte. It's not supposed to, it is. It's better for animals. But there's a lot of research out there and trials where it's not quite as hardy as the Kentucky 31, which is what this is. So this does have the endophyte in it, and it does affect animal performance at certain times of the year, or it can. And what we've done is we've gotten rid of the animals that it affected. In other words, it'll mess them up with their feet. They get fescue foot. And that's because the endophyte restricts blood flow to the extremities of the animal. Well, over 18 years, we've gotten rid of those animals. And today, we're left with animals that handling it pretty good. I mean, we'll have maybe 1 or 2 a summer that falls out of the program. You know what? I'm not going to kill my fescue. I mean, my God, if I didn't have it right now, I'd have to fire up a tractor and get the 4-wheel drive tractor going and just mud your farm to death, or an area of it. You wouldn't do the whole farm. You pick out one area and just mud it to death by putting hay out there and rings, or I'd hate to even unroll hay in mud. You'd probably have to use rings. I don't know. But what we're going to do is we're going to move these cows tonight into that next paddock up there in front of them, and we're going to put a back fence in, so they're not going to be on this. And then tomorrow morning, folks, it's supposed to continue to rain. We've got about 45 acres of this stuff, but we've got some hay over that hill there. So that hay is going to be unrolled on what they're eating right now tomorrow morning. And what that does, it buys us half a day. And we'll do the same thing on that paddock up there. So when they come back over here with the hay, that paddock up in front of them, that'll get a little hay put on it. So what we're doing is we're stretching out our stockpile, trying to get to a sunny day where we can grow some grass. We get 4 or 5 days of sun, we're going to be hopping, man. We're going to have a hard time keeping up with this grass, and that's because we've had so much rain. It's ready to go. It just needs some warm weather, and we're gonna be there doing that. But the cattle overall, they look pretty good from what they were on. I didn't show you what they were on this morning. We took them out of there, but as bad as it looks, I mean, they mudded it pretty good, but they didn't go deep. I think the deepest track I saw in there was probably 3 inches, 4 inches maybe. That's not bad. When you get down 8 inches, that's when you're taking the roots out of your plants. And if you take the whole farm and make 8-inch ruts in it, that's not going to go well for you. Okay? So you've got to keep them from doing that. But we're really, really looking forward to some sunlight. And with that, I think I'm going to sign off. And for those of you all that are new to the channel, welcome. And if you like what you see in here, we're going to be putting more of it. We're getting ready to hit the spring flush, folks. And I'm going to be going through all the steps that we kind of focus on to try and maintain animal performance, palatable forage through the spring flush period. So that's going to be coming at you here in the next week. Well, the next 3 weeks, actually, 3 to 4 weeks. So hold on, we're gonna be hitting grass growth here in a minute. It's going to be hard to keep up with. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Everyone have a great day.